Angelica Himongala. So for today, I want to share my learning about how to communicate successfully. So there are basic elements of communication. Communication is the process of conveying information between two or more peoples. Communication process is the systematic flow or step that we follow in order to achieve effective and successfully communication. So there are four communication process. First, source, message, receiver, and feedback. So let us talking about source. The source of communications transactions is the originator of the message, also known as the sender of information. The source indicates the communication process. The sender can also be called as the speaker, who deliver his message to the receiver or to the listener. So let's move the second communication process, the message. A message is an idea, concept, or emotion that a person desires to share to another person. A message of the speaker is then given a meaning depending on the interpretation of the other receiver or listener. A message can either be verbal, non-verbal, or written. The third, the receiver. The receiver gets the message channeled by the source of information. In a one-way communication process, he is in the other end. The last but not the least, feedback. Feedback is an integral part of human communication process that allows the speaker to monitor the process and to evaluate the success of attempt to get the desired response from the receiver, also called return signals. It has regulatory effects upon the speaker since the speaker must adjust to the feedback responses in order to be successful. In a public communication situation, the response of acceptance of the audience with their applause may be considered a feedback. So let's proceed the communication barrier. A communication barrier is anything that prevents you from receiving and understanding the message used to convey the information, idea, and thought. The barrier may be related to the message, internal barriers related to thoughts and feelings, or external barrier. The following are communication barriers. There are four types of communication barrier. First, perceptual barrier, emotional barrier, and cultural barrier, and language barrier. So let's talk about first, perceptual barrier. Perceptual barrier people have different perception and opinions. In short, they have different paradigm or different view of the world. The paradigm that they have influenced their action, words, and how they treat others. If they are not open of the opinions of others, it can lead to communication barrier. And the second, emotional barrier. Emotional barrier are emotional factors that impede the speaker ability to deliver a clear message or receiver ability to hear a message effectively. Common emotions such as angry, love, joy, frustration, disappointment, and sadness can all create emotional barriers that negatively affect communication. Lastly, language barrier. Language barrier communication becomes difficult in situations where people don't understand each other's language. The inability to communicate using a language or the lack of language competence that leads to difficulty in communicating is known as language barrier in communication. Language barrier is the most common communication barriers which cause misunderstanding and misinterpretation between people. Not using the word that other person understands make the communication ineffective and prevents message from being conveyed.
And that's all. I hope you learned something.